Good morning.
Good morning. Happy Friday. Getting a little silly here on Friday.
Well,
Cece was dancing. So I'm Kim Spillers.
I'm Frank Spillers.
And this is Cece.
The dancing raccoon.
Today she is, yes. So, apparently it's Friday. So Cece's our mascot who helps us to welcome, understand, comfort, and appreciate ourselves and others.
It is the Wooka raccoon that creates the environment to where people can be what they want to be what they can be, and having leadership help set that environment to that builds civility. And that's what we do. We build civility around the world. This is Rural Community Solutions TV live stream, to where we talk about our 4 pillars of
relationships.
That's one pillar.
Yeah,
but our 4 pillars of community prosperity.
Yes.
That's what it is. It upholds. Yeah, that's it. You know,
it's Friday.
You try and bring them on, and well, here we go. So anyway, Rural Community Solutions designs family-friendly, youth-centered places that attract people that have home-based businesses, entrepreneurs, and teleworkforce, because we are redesigning communities these days of how you can transform your community, how you can transform your business to be better than it was before the COVID crisis. And so this is all about how do you use those pillars of relationship, engagement, entrepreneurship, and collaboration to uphold community prosperity.
And your business strength and growth. And what kinds of new things can we create together? So we are so excited that you are with us today. We are wrapping up Collaboration Week.
Collaboration Week has all been about collaborative leaders and how they can uphold an individual and have people work together rather than just focus on that project. Because our definition of collaborative leader is this: collaborative leadership is behavior in action. All right. It is leadership that is focused on how people work together across functional and organizational boundaries. In other words, it's not about the project. It's not about a leader, or it's not about the finished product. It's how are relationships built, engagement created, and collaboration work to create an atmosphere to where people can use their passions and purposes to do what they need to do on a collaborative joint vision.
And that's what gets the projects done in a much more successful and happy way. So that's why we promote collaborative leadership. It just is a better way to do it. So
today is going to be the wrap up of what we talked about during the week. I hope that you did not miss yesterday's episode. I was going to say yesterday's attitude, because attitude's on my head as we go through there. But yesterday's episode with Matthew Hoagland, who's the author of Think Small. And it's all about a millennial's guide to creating a meaningful life in rural America, of how your community can transform itself to attract millennials. And you want to do that with millennials because the millennials are in the age group of about 30 to 49 years old, maybe give or take a few years. But anyway, if you look at that demographic, 30 to 49-year-olds, what happens is that they bring their experiences. They might have lived in your community before, but they're coming back, but they bring with them kids, families.
Sometimes they do.
Yep. 10 to 14-year-olds. Most of the time they do.
Yep.
And so you want to create that family-friendly, youth-centered atmosphere that helps grow families and helps grow that demographic, because when you create something, you attract it. And when you create the magnet that's going to attract the item that you want to attract, that is transforming your community to attract the demographic that you want. And that is an intentional purpose. In other words, it is on purpose, and intentionally you do that to create that. And it just doesn't happen overnight, because you have a culture.
One of the things that Matthew emphasized yesterday in our interview is that millennials are mobile and what they want out of life. They've watched our generation volunteer ourselves to pieces, and the millennials are very intentional about having a better work-life balance than perhaps the generations before them. So they will move to a place where they want to live, where they want to have a life. They will bring their job with them, or they'll find something to use their skill set locally. And that was one of the things that we definitely heard Matthew say, and that he emphasizes in his book, is that we create places where millennials might be interested in moving, find a happy place for them to raise their family and have their successful business. And then they'll figure out the income part of it. And that's different than communities have used for recruitment tactics in the last 75 years. So this is a mindset shift, and it's a very exciting one.
Mindset shift.
Mindset shift.
That's your weekend work. Is say that 3 times really fast all the time. Yep. That'll wake you up on Monday morning.
But it's important.
That is. That mindset shift really helps people start to focus on people, not on projects. And so it's an economic development company that helps communities transform themselves into something they're not, but something they want to be. It is, you focus on people. You're not focusing on job recruitment. You're not focusing on company recruitment. So that is getting out of the realm and getting out of the habit of how do we go out and advertise ourselves to companies. You want to go out and advertise yourself to people. And we talked about that yesterday, to where are millennials parked? Where do they get their information? That's something you need to know. And so as you transform your community into who you want to attract, people-wise, that you then have to find out where those people reside. It's like you're trying to find you're trying to find an item within your community. You have to go hunt where that item is, and then you can purchase it. Well, when you want to find out where people are, you have to go hunt to where those people get their information. And then you can start to describe your community to them, get them interested in it, and that will attract them. And we have done that in many counties. In fact, one of our counties that we worked in attracted a family from Western Massachusetts just because we had redesigned ourselves of who we were and how we portrayed ourselves out into the public eye.
Well, and the community members, through a process that we use called community builders, and we'll talk about that down the road. But because our county underwent that process, the community members knew how to talk differently. They had a mindset shift themselves about how to reach out to people around the world and help them consider whether or not their community was a good place for them to be. And this particular family said, yes, we're here. So they moved to Iowa from Western Massachusetts. It was very exciting.
So it's all about how your community then portrays itself out in the public eye. And with that, it needs a change of attitude. Your people need a change of attitude on how they perceive their community. We have talked a lot about perception, and we've talked a lot about experiences and beliefs this week, to where your experiences is created within your environment. So the environment that you set create experiences, and that environment, and this is how it works, that environment comes through individuals' 5 senses. You don't learn any other way but coming through your 5 senses. How you see things, how you smell things, how you hear things, what you taste. And
what you feel.
And what you feel.
Yes.
All right. Your emotions,
right.
How you feel that, or even
your
touch,
tactile
on there.
Senses,
But how all those 5 senses comes into your conscious mind. Now, your conscious mind at some point in time in your life became a filtering mechanism of what you believe and what you don't believe. And But only 4% of what you do on a daily basis is conscious thought. So that's where you're at, is how you consciously think about things. When it goes into and you think about it over and over and over again, by the way, on a daily basis, we have between 60 and 70,000 thoughts, right? 60 and 70,000 thoughts.
Our little heads are busy.
90% of those thoughts are the same thoughts you had yesterday. And so as you continually to think about the results that you get and the results that you want, the thoughts that you have get the results that you get. All right. So if you want different results, you have to think different thoughts. And so you have to change that filtering mechanism, because that filtering mechanism then provides, and you decide what to do with that. So your actions then are determined by your decisions to move. Your decisions on how to think about what's coming into your environment, on how that comes into your five senses. And then that creates actions. With those actions then get your results. And then the results make your belief. Because when you then look at, okay, these are the results that I have, then that becomes, if I do this, I get this. That's how kids learn. If I cry, mom comes running. If I cry, I get candy. If I do bad, to make me do something good, they give me ice cream. Yay! No, but that's
Anyway,
yeah,
we want a reward system.
Yeah,
right?
that's
how
okay.
we learn. Yeah.
But if you want your children to do things differently, they have to get different results. Mm-hmm. They have to either want to do it or not want to do it. And so they want the results that benefit them, that make them feel good. Everybody wants to feel good, mm-hmm. right? So the results that people get, they want to feel good. And this is an important lesson for collaborative leaders, because it is all about how you treat people. It's all about what people want in that environment. You know, back in the 80s, Manpower, which is a temporary employment agency, created a survey and surveyed all of their businesses around the world. And they asked them, they did two surveys, one for managers and one for employees. And they gave them 10 items to rank in order of what makes a happy employee. On that was pay. On that was appreciation, feeling in on things, wanting a good environment, policies of, a work-life balance, whatever, but 10 items on that. On the management side, the top item that the managers thought people wanted, their workers wanted as a motivation, their top pick was higher pay. Right? On the employee side, their top pick was appreciation. And their second pick was feeling in on things. So if managers thought more pay, they could treat their worker any other way. And if they wanted them to stay, they just paid them more money. Well, that doesn't work anymore. That people want to feel a part of the action. People want to feel a part of the process. People want to feel a part of something bigger than themselves. And that's what millennials want, is they want to volunteer for something that's bigger than themselves. People want to make a difference in the world. Right? And so that's all about a collaborative leader. How do you create those environments to where people get that emotional impact, that emotion of, that's my action. If I do this, I feel good on there, and that gets the belief system, and that creates that environment. When the environment is bad, specifically in a business, if the environment is bad, people leave bad managers. They don't leave companies. All right. So if you're looking to attract workers and good workers, you have to create an environment that's going to attract them. And that's all about collaborative leadership.
And with that, it is Friday, and I have Inspiring Healthy Living in the Midwest live chat at noon. So I need to wish you a happy weekend. Thanks so much for joining us this week. And we look forward to seeing you all September for, I'll let Frank tell you, it's coming up, all the exciting stuff. Thanks. Take care.
She takes off her shoes and she,
I do,
you know,
I shrink.
she shrinks. Yeah, that's it. That's it. I'm thinking about getting her a box back here or so. But when she steps out, she doesn't step in a hole. I mean, yeah, we don't have that. The other portion about collaborative leadership too, of how do you create that environment, is to create an environment of gratitude. Gratitude always closes the loop in our relationship in others. All right. It's appreciation, and it's expressing that appreciation towards the other person about what they do, who they are, where they came from, how much work do they do. But it closes that relationship work. And as I said, workers are looking for that appreciation. They are looking for how do I feel appreciated with what I want? And that's what people are looking for. I want to feel like I matter. And that's appreciation. And so you have to really make gratitude a habit in your life. That appreciation, and look at your youth within your community. As you look back within your youth, do you appreciate them being there? Or do you make ordinances in your community to where they can't ride a skateboard on the sidewalk? Because communities all the time ask me, Frank, why can't we keep our youth in our community? And then I always ask them, I said, what kind of ordinances do you have? And the signs around town posted, no loitering here. Youth can't gather here. Don't stand here. Keep moving on. And then I asked them, okay, can they ride a skateboard down on the sidewalk? And many times there's an ordinance that says no riding skateboards on there. Now, I understand that's for safety's sake, but the information that the youth get is that they're riding their skateboard, and then somebody comes out of the store and they say, you can't do that. Go on, get out of here. So their message that they are getting from people within that community is that they're not wanted. They're not wanted within the community because all these barriers set up, and the words that people have and the attitude that people have towards those youth are, I'm not welcome here. And so what's the first thing that they want to do? Get the heck out of Dodge. I don't want to stay here. I never want to come back here. I just want to move on. And that's the attitude, that's the message, that's the experiences that the youth are getting as they grow up. And so do they want to return to your community? Maybe not. Maybe sometimes they do. Okay. And so what you want to do is you want to create an atmosphere to where people return. You want an atmosphere of returners. And to be a returner is that you are a leader, that somebody helped you get to where you are. Somebody helped get you up there. They might have been a mentor. They might have created that atmosphere to where you grew. But you want to create those atmospheres to where leadership rises to this top. Leadership, collaborative leadership becomes a habit, and they rise to the top. Those returners then come back and they understand why they are where they are. And they come back and they start to show support for other people. They start to help other people back where they learned, back where they can be who they became and how they were trained. And so you want to train somebody to come back as be a returner. Go back and help somebody up because you were helped. You were helped there. And that's what you really want, because when you create a collaborative leadership environment, you are building people. You are building their self-esteem. When you really appreciate and express gratitude for folks, people's self-esteem grow. And when people's self-esteem grow, that's their number one factor in success, is a person's self-esteem. If you have a low self-esteem, you're unmotivated, you say, oh, I can't do that. Nobody will listen to me. That's really not where I want to go. But if you have a high self-esteem, then you do look for success. You say, yes, I can do that. Yes, I have support. Yes, I have people surround me that's going to lift me up. Because people never outperform their self-image. You want to build up their self-image so they perform better. And as they perform better, they're going to be more productive. They're going to do more things. They're going to enjoy more things. And self-esteem can be built up over a lifetime, but it can be destroyed in 20 seconds, because how we view ourselves and the words and the voices that we hear in us creates an energy system with us that helps us be strong or helps us be weak. I can't show you. I won't show you right now because it takes some time, but I do it in workshops. I actually do a kinesiology activity to where people, where I can show that in action of really physically what happens to a person when they look at that and they start to have a different negative mindset and their attitude starts to really dissolve just because of the environment they're in and the words that they're hearing and the name calling that people are at. And that does create a negative environment and a bad attitude. And that's why I rarely listen to the news anymore. It's because the news creates this negative attitude. And well, you know who sponsors the news, don't you? Is pharmaceutical companies. I did a study once. I just an informal study that every commercial in between the breaks, every commercial, I counted how many pharmaceutical commercials were on the three major networks of NBC, ABC, and CBS. And I counted those. And I counted about 24 commercials across the board between the 30-minute newscast, 24 commercials on prescription drugs. Why? Is because when people listen to the news, they feel bad. And oh, by the way, then here's a commercial for something that will make you feel better. So it's I feel bad. Here's something you can take to feel better. And that is marketing. That's marketing 101. How can I attach myself to the consumer? And people can't even go out and buy that over the counter. They have to go to their doctor to buy that prescription. And so negativity, negative information helps you feel bad. It brings you down. And so you want to create the environment to where people feel so much better, because the bottom line is other people are the reason why you're here. You need to show that you appreciate them. You didn't get to where you are, and a collaborative leader didn't get to where they are because of what you can do. You became who you became because of other people. Other people's support. And as a collaborative leader, you need to build people up, bring them along, and find their potential that you can help them become what they can become. Because the number one goal for a collaborative leader is to, what you do as a human is to add value to other people. That's your number one goal as a collaborative leader, is to add value to other people. Because when you listen to your community and you create and support a compelling vision and you communicate that vision as a collaboration, then people want to be involved in that vision because they can see themselves in how they can become a better person and how they can add value to the collaboration. This is how you get people engaged. This is how you get people to volunteer for groups, is to create that environment to where they can add value to what's going on. And that is the important part of recruiting people, because they want to feel that they are investing, they are bringing something to the table that they can add value. But the other things that collaborative leaders also do is fund the vision. You learn how to create that vision, but then you fund it. Now, here's the important part. When you create a compelling vision, and we're going to go into vision in September, we'll go pretty deep into vision because entrepreneurs have vision. But when you create that compelling vision, people are attracted to the vision. And then when people are attracted to the vision, the funds come. It's not the other way around. Don't create the vision and then hope that somebody or go out and find the funds and then create the vision. You have to create the vision and the funds will follow, because it's a compelling vision. The funds will follow and the people will follow also. And you want to make sure that the right policies are in place to achieve that vision. So if you sit on city council, if you sit on county supervisors or county commission, if you're an elected official, if you are a leader in an influential spot on there, then you have to make sure that those policies that are in place really move the vision forward. So those are the things that make a collaborative leader. All right. And you want to create your environment to where it's family friendly, it's youth focused, you have collaborative leadership, you have shared vision, shared goals, a communication system that communicates all around and communicates in a transparent model and the truth, and you build trust, and all citizens see a role to engage. That's how you know you're going to have success, and that's how you know you can design a family-friendly, youth-centered place, is when you have all those principles in place and you can build that success model. We'd love to have more of a conversation with you. We hope that this week has really helped you become a better leader and helped you identify some things in your community or in your business that you can institute and ingrain within that process that you use that will make you a better leader. Remember, there is a leader and there is the leader. A leader can have a position, it can be in charge of the committee, it can be in charge of the project, it can be a project manager, but that might not be the leader of the group. Because the leader of the group, people will turn to and say, what do you think? Is this the right way to go? Should we do this? Is this smart? Will this help me? Because the leader has built a relationship with these people. The leader has trust. The leader is turned to for the great advice. And so when you value others and you build them up and you create that environment to where people then can participate, that's really collaborative leadership. That's collaboration. And it starts with expressing gratitude for the people that are doing things and creating an atmosphere that people feel appreciated. That's the center of collaboration. When people feel appreciated, they give, right? But you have to have that environment there. Next week, we start a new month. We start a new series, a new pillar of entrepreneurship. Now, our 4 community prosperity pillars are relationships. We did that the first week. Engagement, of where you create safe spots for people to have value-based conversations, because when you have relationships and engagement, you build trust amongst your folks. We added in the 3rd pillar this week of collaboration, of how collaborative leaders should build that environment. Next week, we're going to start on entrepreneurship. And because it's such an important part of building a rural community and building a business, entrepreneurship is going to encompass the whole month. We're going to take 4 weeks on that. And we're going to have one guest every week. And that guest is going to be Don Mackey. Don is a vice president of entrepreneurial ecosystems. So join us Monday through Friday as we talk about entrepreneurship and how can entrepreneurship become a base and why it should become a base for communities on building your businesses and building your community to create community prosperity. Entrepreneurship. All right. Join us in September. We'll be here Monday through Friday, 11:30 a.m. on Rural Community Solutions TV at Livestream. You can either catch us on our YouTube channel or go to our Facebook page of Rural Community Solutions. And or you can email us. I'm Frank at ghorizons.com, or you can email Kim at ghorizons.com. And just give us your opinion. Tell us what you think of the show. Tell us what you think about our content. Give us new content information that you would like. And maybe even suggest somebody that is good to interview that you would like to hear. We are so happy that you join us right now. We're so happy that you continue to join us. Let's keep the conversation going. So when you get this and you see this, share it on to somebody that needs to hear this. I'm Frank Spillers with Rural Community Solutions, and I hope you have a great weekend. Bye. See you next week.